Good morning. We have a very special episode for you today. It is Bronco versus Banana. So here's the thing. Hefe's done some upgrades on his Bronco. He's feeling pretty cocky about it, and he wants to challenge the Banana. And Rhett's feeling pretty sure that the Banana is going to be able to defend its crown as the most capable, most reliable off-road recovery vehicle in southern Utah.
Yeah, when it has gas in it.
So before we get started with the competition, we're going to give you some specs on these two featherweight fighters. The last time I weighed the Banana, it was 4,200 pounds. That was before we did the complete redo. The actual retail weight of the Banana in its current setting with the driver is 5,060 pounds. Okay, Hefe, how heavy do you think the Bronco is as we weighed it?
I'm gonna guess 6,300.
6,300 pounds. The actual retail weight of Hefe's Bronco with him in it is 6,100 pounds.
Ooh, that was close.
The wheelbase on the Bronco is 116 inches. Anybody guess what it is on the Banana?
I'm gonna guess a little bit shorter.
114.
112.
103. Quite a bit shorter.
Yeah.
Let's look at total track width. We're going outside of the tire to the outside. 82 on the Bronco, 77 on the Banana. It's kind of blowing Hefe's. They're the same size, kind of out of the water. I have the dyno results for this engine, and it was 272 or 273 somewhere.
To
in
the
that
wheels?
range. No, that's flywheel horsepower.
Flywheel horsepower.
And this one, flywheel horsepower, is going to be around 300.
300. Yep.
So factory claim 300 at the flywheel.
The engine, despite what people think, completely stock. Haven't done anything but an exhaust to it. That's it.
And then this has 10 speeds.
Yep, 10-speed automatic.
Okay, that's one of the biggest differences that you're gonna see in the sand dunes is that this one's always gonna be in the right gear. And this one, there's gonna be some gaps between it because this only has 4 gears. There is a myth in off-roading, I don't know how it got started, and it is totally wrong, and that is that you wanna be in 4 high when you're in the sand.
That's a lie. A dirty lie.
Not true. If you like to overheat your transmission and if you like to bog down and get stuck, you can use 4 high, but if you want to drive all over the softest dunes in the world, you better be locked, 4-wheel drive, low range, and lots of RPM. I'm gonna take the dogs to the lake while these guys fill you in on the rest of the details.
All right, while we were at the sand chute, we did a little bit of a time trial so you could make it clear to the top from the bottom, the fastest.
All right, we are at the top of the chute, and there is definitely somebody down there. Quit tearing up the trail! I have video proof you guys did worse. Well, we're gonna have some nice ruts, Rhett, to go up. You still think the Banana's gonna make it?
First try.
Okay, now that you've been to the sand trap, what do you think?
So this is my second time here.
Okay.
First time I was with Matt in the dark.
Notice this heavy breathing.
Yeah, this is a no joke hill. I knew that coming here, but this hill's for real.
Are you good with sticking around till we make it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yep.
What was it?
Tails.
Dang it! I knew I should have called tails.
That means I get a pick, right?
No, that means you go first, I thought.
Okay, I'll go first.
What's your plan, Hefe?
Do exactly what I did last time.
What
I'm
was that?
going to floor it all the way. Once the Bronco starts to bog down, I'm going to drop it a gear into manual and leave it in manual all the rest of the way up and out.
All right.
Any last words, Rhett?
Hefe's gonna go up like a cheetah, and I'm gonna go up graceful like a gazelle.
Ready, set, go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, start.
sand chute was the Bronco territory, and now we're doing our 8 rated trail double Sammy, which is the Bananas territory.
Just so all you know, an 8 rated trail is on the verge of body damage.
The Bronco has electronic lockers front and rear, and that's a positive locker. The Banana has 2 different styles of locking mechanisms. The front one's a Yukon Grizzly, which is a positive locker when it's engaged. The rear is a Dana Spice or Power Lock. It's actually a limited slip or a posi. If anybody ever asks me if the Banana has lockers front and rear, the short answer is always yes, because it just acts like it does. All right, the next competition is gonna be a version of the slow drags. We're gonna see which one of these rigs has the best flotation and can climb up a sand dune the slowest. Go! So this kind of competition is to see just how much flotation you have. So you're not using speed to float on top of the sand. All you're using is the footprint of your tires. All right, now they're getting serious about it. It's hard because this race you have to lose to win. Hefe's gonna win this one if he gets out of that. Hefe won that one. Okay, go switch tracks. Okay. Follow the other lines exactly. Although the Banana did definitely float better, Hefe played the game and won it. What do you think, Max? Oh, they're just creeping now. Okay, both of them learned some strategy on that last one. To go very, very slow on the easy spot because you're gonna have to go a little bit faster on the hard spot. So I had them take exactly the same tracks, and that's really put the Banana at a disadvantage because when Rhett was driving it on the first time, he made a big loop on the outside, added a lot of distance to the course. And since the goal is to reach the top last, that put the Bronco at an advantage. So this is where it's going to start getting really difficult for the Banana because it is in the steep, deep, soft stuff. Hefe's got a really clear path. He's not going to be getting into trouble till like 30, 40 feet out. I think the Banana's in trouble starting about right now, and that's, I don't know, 70 or 80 feet out there. All right, I think the Banana won that one. We're gonna call the results even, but it's pretty obvious that the Banana floats a little better. Now for the real portion, we're gonna go rock climbing. We're gonna go do double Sammy. We are right here at the beginning of double Sammy. The rules to this game is there will be no spotting unless it's asked for. Every time they ask for it, it's -1 point.
How many points do we start out with?
0.
Oh, how do we get points?
You don't. So whoever has the most points is the loser.
If we're playing golf here, Rhett. Have you ever played golf?
Yeah.
The lowest point wins.
We're gonna play even odds here. The Bronco's even, the Banana's odds. There's no strategy, it is completely random. 3, 2, 1, show. Okay, so the Bronco's going first. I'm cameraman and I am the emergency spotter guy. Colby's gonna be flying that drone around.
And I'm emergency nothing guy.
This will be a good indication of the width difference between these two. Before we completely rebuilt the Banana, it was 4,200 pounds. I didn't think we were going to be that much heavier, but now that I think about it, we've added a front bumper with a winch. We have 2 batteries now instead of just one, and we have a Super Duty 60 Dana 60 axle instead of the Dana 44. Significantly heavier. Also, we have a roll cage inside now, so it makes sense that it's heavier than it was. I'm just bummed that it is. Got another little bit of a squeeze here. Hefe's probably gonna have to ride this obstacle a little high. You can see that people have got into that wall. What do we got here? He's just barely touching. Just barely touching right there. Well, there was a lot of difference in ground clearance there. All right, Hefe chose no spotter, and he's just going to pick a different line. See if that one works out better for him. They put him back in the same spot, but this time it worked out.
Sometimes you just got to muscle through it.
Yeah. Rhett's trying an alternate track. About the same difficulty level. Since there's no spotters, the drivers get to choose their paths. Nothing we can do about it. Rhett definitely does have the advantage because he can watch Hefe go through things. That's going to tell him a lot about the parts of the trail he can't see. Probably going to get a couple questions about, isn't the sand and the rocks too hot for the dog's feet? Just going to do a little thing here. Here's the rock. Here's the tender side of my arm. It's not hot at all. I could lay down and take a nap. It would be sandy and lumpy, but it wouldn't be too hot. Same with the sand. The dog's paws are in good sand.
Last time I was on this trail, I scraped that. So I know I'm gonna be too wide at certain points, so I'm taking them off.
It's a strategy, folks. Come on, lady. Looks like we ran into a little bit of traffic today.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
Good, good. Good looking Jeep, man. Nice. Look at that. Oh, he's kissing those exhaust tips he was worried about. Kissed the hitch we weren't worried about. Broncos do better Jeep waves than Jeeps do. When we stop for a break, I'm going to show you why independent front suspension that's set up identical to the way everything is right now will never be as good as a solid front axle. But Matt, that's a bold statement. Yes, yes it is, and one I'm willing to stand by until something changes with IFS. Oh, here's another one. Yeah! All right, there is a bypass here. I'm gonna make them do the hard line. They might get some spotting penalties here. We'll see. You keep kissing your exhaust tips.
I know, it makes me sad. They're brand new.
All right, it is illegal to get out and look, but we're gonna let it happen.
That's not terrible.
I think that's the worst spot right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done double Sammy.
So I've made it clear to Hefe, if he wants a spotter, he can ask for one. Hefe's been hanging out with Bronco Buster quite a bit lately. He's changed his driving style. That was clean.
I didn't make it clear. When I said I'd done double Sammy, I've done all the bypasses. On double Sammy, that's not a bypass.
Yeah, they started taking the bypasses. I'm like, no, we're rock crawling today.
You can say I'm a little short.
That's the hit.
I'm not keeping score, but this is the third or fourth time Hefe's come out to work on the exterior of his Bronco today.
I don't want to lose my wiring with the bumper.
This is the crossroads. This is where 777s crosses double Sammy. What we always do on the record games, we started on 777s, we ended on double Sammy. We just kind of stayed straight. This time we're doing the opposite. We started on double Sammy, we're gonna end on 777s. So everybody calls that one double triple Sammy when they run it. I don't know what this one's called. Double Sammy 7s. So we're doing double Sammy 7s today.
Oh.
Woo!
Yikes.
They may or may not want a spotter on this. So now that we've jumped on the 777s, we're on a level 8 trail. So we've jumped from a 7 to an 8.
This looks pretty simple, but if you get on the wrong
You
line,
make a mistake, yeah.
it's a big mistake.
So here's the deal. The story on how 777's got its name is the first guy to cut this trail. He said, hey, I got this trail and it's a 7. And he took his friends on it, and one of his friends stated, if this is a 7, it's a 777, and it got an 8 rating.
Yeah, I've never been here, and I hate cracks because you slip down in, you're done. Bar up the whole side of your vehicle.
Woohoo! Nicely done.
Oh man! All right.
Interesting choice. Very interesting choice. All right, Brett gets a spotter.
I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, but okay.
Alright, just spot.
Okay, Rhett's taking a point here. I need you to turn driver and I need you to climb up that. But I need you to go very, very slow. Alright, keep doing it. Woo! Going all the way to the top. All the way, man. Okay, now start cutting back, just a little. Okay, you should be able to drive out of it there. Woo! The official score now is 0 to -1. The favor goes to the Bronco driver.
Rhett has a handicap. That's Matt's Jeep.
Hefe has a front camera that he's using to spot with, so.
It's not exactly accurate because that was prior to the lift and everything. So the it shows where your tires are supposed to go. It's not accurate, but it at least lets you see where the crack and stuff is.
This is the next obstacle. You can tell that some people have some struggles with this. There's scratch marks all over it. Let's see. Woohoo! I'm getting out of there. I did not like that.
Teeter totter.
see what the banana does in the same situation. It doesn't care. We've had comments out on the trail like this. They're like, those dogs are too hot. Look at them, they get in the shade every chance they get. And if there was shade big enough for me, I'd get in it every chance I get too. But I'm not in trouble, and the dogs aren't in trouble either. Okay, this is a pretty big step right here. So let's see how the Bronco does. There's an undercut over there. So you have to, on a wide rig, you've got to be clear over this way. Oh. Nicely done. Piece of cake for the Bronco. I think he's cheating with his camera again.
Oh yeah.
The banana's quite a bit narrower, and I feel like it's gonna give it a slight advantage here. Not that the Bronco did bad, but it's not gonna get quite so undercut.
Piece of cake.
I don't think there's anything like super hard up here, but there is some things that are kind of weird. That's kind of hard and weird.
Yeah, that's gonna cause me to three-wheel again, I think.
All right. Ooh. Whoop. I'm making sound effects for you. I think this is gonna make the banana three-wheel. I don't think it can handle this articulation. Nope.
The banana is definitely made for this stuff.
Wow, look at this. This is a can opener right here.
So I remembered this obstacle. When we first finished the MORR, we came back from Moab and we did a job and we dented in the fenders on both sides of the MORR coming down through this right before a car show.
It's going to be interesting to see the strategies that they use to get up here without a spotter. Hefe absolutely does not want a -1. So he's formulating some sort of a plan. It's going to get that rig right up here. All right, Hefe's taking a spot. This is -1 point. Okay, come up here, driver. Oh, we're back where we were. We got a huge hole there. Let's go around. I was wrong. I said there was no more hard spots, just some weird ones. This was hard. This is a hard obstacle. Rhett says he's not taking the spot.
felt terrible. I was so sideways.
So first of all, I want to start out by saying the Banana is a better rock crawler, but that is not why the Bronco didn't do that. The reason the Bronco didn't do that was wheelbase. So if it would have had a longer wheelbase by 6 or 8 inches, or a shorter wheelbase by about a foot, it would have did what the Banana did. So the score is -1 to -1. Woo! Teeter totter! That had to feel really, really bad. Right, Rhett does not ask for a spotter also. I told you I was going to talk to you about why solid front axles dominate rock crawling. So come down here and I'll show you what we got. So this front axle is holding the weight of the front of this vehicle. And it's doing that through these struts right here, which means the connection is right there. So when this wheel goes up, that's a fulcrum point, and it actually pushes that down and puts some pressure down. So it's not just pulling the suspension down, it's actually getting some weight on it because of this fulcrum. Now it's not at a really high ratio, but it's also not at 0. That's why the low side wheel is so good at reaching down and grabbing the planet, is because of that reason. And it allows you to have a lot more droop because the pivot from the drive shaft is longer than the pivot is from an A-arm. So there's limited on how low it can go before it binds your axles or gets the drive axles in so much. So there's a limit on how low an IFS can drop, and you reach that limit faster than you do with a solid axle. And this is a solid axle, so whatever this wheel's doing, it is having an effect on that wheel and vice versa. Independent front suspension is just that. It's completely independent. So whatever this wheel's doing, that wheel has no effect on that wheel. So if this one goes up, it doesn't push that one down. It just goes up. And like we talked about, there's more limited droop, so that wheel just goes up in the air. What they're really good at is high speed, middle rough stuff, and that means a wheel can just be going over stuff without affecting the other one. If you go over a big bump with one of the wheels on this tire, what does it do? It affects that tire, so effectively you're getting a much higher percentage of reaction from the bump with the solid axle. You're gonna have to get your bumpers replaced. That back bumper, we got to do something about the back of that. Yeah, that was, you did a little bruise there on that obstacle.
That's the first bruise.
A little plastic thing helped.
Isn't that gonna go black?
Oh, that's just plastic.
Yeah, that's plastic. That'll come off.
It's a
That
little
is
dent
not.
right there.
It's going to Robbie's.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I always knew the dominant force was the Banana, but I was curious how close the Bronco is, and it's a little too close for comfort.
That's going to change. It's going to get even closer.
The sand chute, the Bronco won, hands down. I'm blaming it mostly on a turbocharged engine and 10 gears. It won by 14 whole seconds. That's a significant margin. That's enough to take a couple bites of a sandwich. And to somebody who's really hungry, that's a lot. So the next challenge was the slow drags. It ended up 1-1, but I'm gonna have to give the win to the Banana because it definitely was able to go much slower on the steep portion without digging down. The third and final contest was the rock crawling, and I think that was hands down the Banana just because of ground clearance, approach angle, departure angle, and its ability to keep all 4 wheels on the ground. It just did the obstacles easier. However, I would not bet against the Bronco on 777s or double Sammy because I've seen it go through both of them.
And there's some changes coming for the ground clearance and the bumpers.
Yeah, there's fixes.
So
We can't leave them alone. We're not gonna leave them alone.
nope. So that's one of the main things I like about working at Matt's Off-Road Recovery. We go build something, we test it, we don't like it, we fix it, we make it better. That's what's happened to the Banana, that's what I'm doing to the Bronco, every rig that we got.
Sometimes we make it worse, but then we go back and make it better or the same.
Thanks for watching.
Another thing about the Bronco is it has superior AC and it doesn't get vapor locked.
It's an XJ thing.